Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be covering Foolkiller. Now, there have been 3 different individuals to carry this title, with the very first of them being Ross G. Everbest, who made his first appearance in Man-Thing, issue number 3, that was released in March 1974. He also being 6 feet tall, weighing 185 pounds, and having blue eyes and blonde hair. Now, there was a brief period where Kurt Gerhardt would carry the title as well. However, the most current and well-known Foolkiller is Gregory Salinger, who made his first appearance in Omega the Unknown, issue number 9, that was released in April 1977. And he also stands 6 feet tall, but weighs 197 pounds, having blue eyes and blonde hair. Now, all of these individuals were not superpowered per se, but they each possessed psychopathic energy, aka crazy strength, that let them be slightly stronger and have more endurance than an average man of their height and weight. Each of them also being tough as nails. The one unique thing that they possessed was what they called their Purification Gun, which was a type of powerful laser pistol with about a 30-yard range that could literally disintegrate its target. It's also worth mentioning that the first Foolkiller had an iconic calling card that he left with his potential victims, warning them that they had 24 hours to live and telling them to use their time wisely. Now, the original Ross got this way due to his rough life, having a tough childhood because of his parents being killed in the Korean War, while also being paralyzed from the waist down. However, one day he would come across a traveling minister named Mike Pike, who used faith healing to miraculously restore his legs, changing Ross's life forever. He would then join the minister on the road, but he would become increasingly angry with the quote-unquote immoral fools of the world, encountering unsavory types everywhere they went. One day, Ross would snap and vow to get rid of all the sinners in the world, then becoming the Foolkiller and starting on his worldwide mission. Ironically, this would even lead him to taking out the minister who healed him, once Ross learned that he was a sinner just like everyone else. Ross's reign of terror would only come to an end after he died at the hands of Man-Thing. However, the Foolkiller would live on, because his example would inspire the most popular iteration of Foolkiller, Greg Salinger. Now, Greg would have a similar ethos, but he would be slightly more secular, leaning towards classifying people as fools who were cold and didn't have what he considered poetry in their souls. Greg was extremely effective as Foolkiller, quite often taking out even superpowered foes, and even completely destroying the Defenders team headquarters when he had a run-in with them. In Greg's normal everyday life, we would eventually see him enrolling at Empire State University, actually taking a liking to his science teaching assistant, Peter Parker, who Greg felt was very poetic in the way he explained complex concepts. But, as fate would have it, Greg and Peter would end up crossing paths as Foolkiller and Spider-Man. And as expected, Foolkiller was greatly outmatched by Spidey. And while he was running from the wall crawler, he would hide in an alleyway with a homeless woman who would comment that only a fool would try to fight against Spider-Man. This revelation would hit the Foolkiller very hard, and he would be within seconds of vaporizing his own head with his Purification Gun before Spider-Man would stop him just in time. Greg would then spend a stint in an institution, getting treatments for his self-destructive tendencies, although he could not totally rid himself of his hatred for fools. While there, his writings would actually lead to a TV interview, which sparked a secret correspondence with Kurt Gerhardt, who would be convinced to briefly become the new Foolkiller, although his life would be cut short by Deadpool. So it's ironic that a midlife crisis Greg, who was now free, would eventually become one of the founding members of Deadpool's Mercs for Money, with these individuals pretending to be Deadpool to extend his so-called reach across the globe. Greg would do a pretty good job juggling his life as a mercenary and a psychology student, with Deadpool and his fellow Mercs actually attending his graduation. But Greg would also lead the charge with the Mercs dissolving their contract with Deadpool. As you can imagine, Deadpool would not make the most responsible boss, especially when you include the fact that he wasn't paying them in a timely manner and was skimming money off the top. Now, due to his abilities and his influence on the Marvel Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Foolkiller a rating of 4, which is a rating of journeyman. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Sage.